Hello, hello! Part 3 of working on the Go-kart. I do not know how many parts there will be, but needless to say, buying parts for anything is expensive. So, all it took is about a week or two, maybe 3 weeks tops between projects, and ordering things. Ordering Amazon, eBay, all kinds of outfits will save you lots of money if you could just be patient. That's the key here. Well, that's just un-American. If you just buy online, it's not like my store is filled with Chinese goods and products. Gee. Yes, I'm un-American because I'm buying my Chinese parts other than from another American. That's un-American.
Made in China once again. China carburetor forever. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look on this package. They're so cheap, they didn't even put China in.
It's unmarked. It's from China, okay?
Alright, so, this segment, we're looking at, the pedal. They're like, dude, I'm trying to hook this stuff up to my engine. Oh my god, my engine's missing! Don't worry, you're not alone. I was like, how am I gonna hook this up? Well, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. I'll try to throw a couple part numbers in there with you too, so, try to give you something to go off of. Okay, so again, I'm opening this up to figure out how I'm gonna tie my cable onto my throttle. Alright, 3 screws, 1 in the back, 2 in the front for this engine. It's Intech 190. I am aware that this is probably not the most common engine people are going to use, but I'll just say I use a pressure washer engine to do it. It's kind of cool. Alright, then I undid these 2 bolts right here, and then a little gas tank was just kind of wedged in there in the back, popped right out. Alright, so I did have a little accident. My phone was a little too close and some stuff came apart, and there's gas on my phone right now as I'm literally recording this. Damn it! So I can either fix this now or when I go try to put this back together, because these hoses are just old and crummy, so I'm going to replace these. Damn it. Now I understand that they've got some better stuff on the market rather than this, but I'm poor folk, so this is just a double nut, just basically jams it so where it's tight. Before this was like flopping all over the place. So okay, so these are the both ends of the cable that I'm working with, so I have to figure out how exactly I'm going to make this work. So right now this is set up for pressure washer. This is on off. If you look there, there's the kill wire. It's actually below that, so when it touches that, it just grounds out the magneto, and so it's on turtle, and now it's on wide open. So on here I have red that shows you the governor. Hello, governor. And right now it's set right there on the floor, which is just medium right there. So if I actually turn this all the way up to turtle and I put it on 7, it would override the governor, which would it would basically bypass the governor that much more, which, you know, there's a reason they have governors on these engines, to protect them. So it's all about what you want and how much you really care about the engine. So this is going on a go-kart, so I'm not actually going to mess with this setting right now, but what I'm interested in is making it to where this is not so hard to turn and get my cable set in place. And if I had set this down to like 1A or like anything like that, basically closer down here to 1, it would mean that the governor would have a lot more power over where I want my throttle out. So say it's like wide open, and right now startup it is wide open. That's just how all these little small engines work. So but yeah, farther out means I get more power, more control, and then closer in means governor has more control. And don't go messing with these springs. These springs are very specific to the whole entire function. This one that kind of looks like a paper clip, this is just like what it's like a free zone pretty much. Like this all can move together with the governor. I wish I could do this. Your governor will allow it, kind of free space paper clip, if you will. So yeah. But yeah, if I don't like my power output, I will take the gas tank back off, probably save it for another video. And anyways, but that's how you adjust it if you feel like your governor's kicking in too much. Just always move it up a little bit to where it's not quite as strong, because this arm moving is dependent upon, it's either going to be air movement or oil fling. I'm not sure about this engine, probably oil fling. And right now everything's wide open again, and when it starts up, it'll kick that throttle back just a little bit, and it'll look like something like that, and it'll constantly move. So alright, now we're going to talk about this part. So it's set up for pressure washer, so this is a nylon nut, and it's set so when the engine's in there shaking and stuff that the throttle won't move. So if you're having trouble with your throttle moving and it is a pressure washer, you just need to come over here and look at this guy, because he's probably worked himself loose or something. Alright, so looks like these are actually like little, some kind of pads, probably rubber pads or something like that. Little bitty washer, I don't want to lose him. Dump him over. Okay, so yeah, he's like some kind of little brake, if you will. And it's like plastic or nylon or something. But anyways, he's just supposed to go on there because this is set up, so not what I'm trying to do. You can see how easy this moves now. Much easier, so yeah. Okay, the only thing I did here is this is the magneto wire, transformer wire, right? So you ground this out to that, like that, and it'll lose its spark. So the moment I disconnected it from this little guy right there, but I'll leave that piece in there in case I want to come back later and change something. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to splice this, and I'm going to have a kill switch, probably over where the steering wheel is someplace. So it's a good spot to have that. You know what? I like to go fast. I'm going to go ahead and turn this up to 7. I want to go fast. Yeah, this will be fun. So there is a bottom brake on this guy. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But they pressed it in right there, so off the factory line. So I'm not able to get this undone without actually grinding this off and putting a bolt through it. Okay, so right now what I'm looking at is I need to make sure this thing can idle down, because if it does not idle down properly, I'll have troubles with the centrifugal clutch fully disengaging, which could burn it up. And yeah, we gotta make sure this is right. So what I'm looking at is I found a little hole back here, right there, that's part of this. And I'm actually looking at the hole there and that little hole there. Now what I need is the throttle to have a return back to idle position, so that way when I go to let off the throttle, the engine RPMs will go down. So I did find a spring right now. I don't know what this is off of, but I'm thinking about trying to latch this spring, whoops, sorry about that, and that little hole there, and then connecting it. Just about had it actually. Get in your hole! You too good for your hole? Damn it. So that's close, but I kind of want my plastic piece to go back on. You don't have to have it on there like that, but I like my verbiage, you know, gas on or off, because I'll be that guy that forgets to turn it off and fucking floods his engine, gas is empty and engine won't start. So, and I just took a little dab of this, by the way, chasing a squirrel, and nothing wrong with this stuff. I use this stuff for everything. It makes it go really fast. Anyways, so there's my little plastic piece, and then there's a little metal sight gas. I should be able to turn it kind of like that. It should be fine. So fingers crossed it won't cause a problem with shutting off my fuel when I'm sitting there trying to drive. And if it is, I can always change out the spring or something like that, but I think it'll be fine. So there we go. I have my return, and it's getting closer and closer to a go-kart engine rather than a pressure washer. Yay! And there we go. I got that guy pretty much close to set. We should be in business here. Okay, so one of the things I'm looking at right now at the moment is I'm looking at play. So this is part of the linkage by the throttle pedal, where it's at down below by your foot. And I don't like how that's loose, because once you add about 4 foot, 5 foot worth of pedal, sloppage is going to be pretty noticeable. So thought I would do this segment. And so I want to get something. It's worth tapering off just a little bit of the inside, so I can have a a lot less play. So that way my throttle response will be a lot tighter. Okay, now this part I actually used a high-speed Dremel, so it looks like that, middle tip right there. And this is a lead fitting, and I got it pretty close to a 0 play, so yeah. Alright, there we are. Spring is on. I have to go get a cotter pin for that hole. Slipped it over that. This is loose. Should be like that, loose, so that way it can travel and stuff and move. That right there is state-of-the-art zip tie technology. That's gonna keep my casing where it should be. Probably last about 2 minutes. So here we go. I could either use my brain or I could use the government. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna maybe make me a little plate or something like that, like a little L plate that'll go in that bolt hole, and then it'll go in here, and it'll be stuck right there. And my cable move in and out throughout the 2 holes right there. I think that'll work. So I found a piece of stainless laying around. I don't even know what the fuck this thing is. It's a screen attachment. Anyways, I'm just gonna drill a hole and I'm gonna use this for my bracket. Alright, so whatever kind of stainless this is, this little fucker is tough. I've drilled through stainless before, but this shit's on another level. Alright, here we are. Putting on this bracket that I made. Doesn't have to be stainless steel, whatever you find. Okay, there we are. Got my little bracket on. Now I'm going to attempt to feed this through these two little holes right here. See how that goes. Alright, here I go. Oh yeah, that worked out quite well. All I did was weave it in those two holes. That was pretty easy. Cool. So it was actually the first time I've ever done this, linking up the linkage on a go-kart. It's actually way easy. All it takes is a little time, little patience, hook it there, get a little creative, and you have a working throttle linkage. That easy, guys. If I could do it, you guys could do it too.